Hello, folks. This is the Duke of Tumwater. I have been following the anti-feminist slash anti-social justice camp for quite some time, and I've decided to share my story about how I ditched my old beliefs and became an anti-feminist. Up until my late teens, I considered myself to be an extremely liberal person. I contribute that to being raised by parents who were liberal themselves and growing up in George W. Bush's America, which soured me on conservatism for much of my life. However, I was also instilled with such values as earning your keep through hard work, meritocracy, individualism, and personal responsibility, which we'll get back to later. That all changed my senior year of high school. I started to notice this sentiment spring up on the various geek-oriented forums that I participated in that we need more strong female and minority characters in media. At first, I did not think much of it, but it started to grate on me over time because the people pushing it often seemed to be implying that it be done just for the sake of it. For example, that games set in medieval Europe include more people of color because we need more diversity, even though there weren't many people of color in medieval Europe and it wouldn't make sense to include them. I also noticed critics and fellow nerds berating media that did not reinforce their worldview with cries that the media in question was racist, sexist, and or homophobic, among other pejoratives, often for very stupid reasons like not having enough women or minority characters, even if it made sense that they weren't there. See the previously mentioned example of the game set in medieval Europe. It seemed to me that these people did not want to judge these media based on their artistic merit, but rather by subjective ideological merit, like, i.e., is this sending the right message? This struck me as very off because I was and still am a huge film buff who believes that every piece of art has the right to exist and that art is not obligated to be sensitive, politically correct, or enforce good social values. What these people wanted amounted to propaganda, information, ideas, or rumors deliberately spread widely to help or harm a person, group, movement, institution, nation, etc. I also had a bad experience dating a feminist where our disagreements on the subject led to our breakup, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. It eventually culminated in a point where I just threw up my hands and said, I'm sick of this bullshit, and I started looking around on the internet to see if anyone else shared my viewpoint. It was then that I discovered Gamergate, a hashtag consumer revolt dedicated to fighting the aforementioned mentality and the social justice warrior infiltration of geek spaces in general. Gamergate was where I discovered many of my favorite anti-SJW YouTube personalities such as Sargon of Akkad, Thunderfoot, Mundane Matt, and the Internet Aristocrat / Mr. Medicure, and many others. These people showed me a different side of things that I had never considered and actually aligned with the previously mentioned principles that I hold dear. You see, my key problem with feminists and social justice warriors is that they don't believe in earning respect through hard work and accomplishing things, but rather that respect is owed to them by everyone else, that they should get places in life by virtue of their race, gender, and/or other identity component rather than their skill set, and that they only value others as part of a collective rather than for their individuality. Consequently, I began to reassess my overall political beliefs, going from liberal to right libertarian. You see, I've always been very skeptical of authority and have not liked to have what I can do restricted by a dominant entity. So the words of a lot of the anti-SJW people I discovered who leaned libertarian were very appealing to me as opposed to the authoritarian dogma of the feminists and the social justice warriors and also, incidentally, that of the George W. Bush administration that dominated the early years of my life. It turns out I don't have a problem with conservatism as much as I do authoritarianism. So that is my story on how I became an anti-feminist / SJW. Hope you enjoyed it, and if so, please click like and subscribe and follow me on Twitter. My upload schedule will be irregular. Some months I will upload more often depending on how busy I am. Catch you guys later.